Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you once again for coming back to join us on the United Regional Weekly Update. We try to bring you on some interesting guests and some different subjects that are going on in the area. This week, I'm very glad to bring on a longtime friend, somebody who I really admire, Mr. Chris Rappold. Chris is the founder and owner of Personal Best Karate, but he's the founder and originator of the Turkey Brigade. And we're going to talk about the Turkey Brigade a little bit. But first off, welcome, Chris.
Oh, Jack, it's a pleasure to be here. Nice to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as always. First off, tell us a little bit about Chris.
A little bit about Chris. Well, I was one of those fortunate ones that was able to turn a hobby into a career, Jack. I started martial arts when I was 13 years old. I graduated from college in May of '91, and I opened Personal Best Karate that July and have been doing it ever since. Since the last time I saw you, I'm doing the exact same thing. We have 4 locations in Easton, Norton, Foxborough, and Raynham. We started the charity, actually the brigade that we're going to be talking about 28 years ago. So, we'll kind of get into that. And then I also, aside from that, I was a professional athlete. And right now I'm the executive director of Team Paul Mitchell Karate, which is the #1 sport karate team in the world. And I've been in that position since 2011. So a whole bunch of good stuff.
Well, and one couple of things that Chris won't tell you, he is the 5-time world champion in kickboxing and holds the USA's gold medal in kickboxing. Not a guy that you really want to get on the bad side of. Fortunately, I've been on the good side for a long time, even though I pick on him all the time.
Yeah, you do, but that's a sign of love.
That is, brother. It is. Well, you already answered one of my questions, but the first question is, why did you start the Turkey Brigade? And then we'll get into the length and everything else.
Sure. Yeah. So at the school, so Personal Best, we pride ourselves on character education, #1, physical fitness, #2, and self-defense skills, #3. So regarding the character education, we're always looking for experiential ways to bring the philosophy of what we teach to life. And service above self is something that is important, to the philosophy of what it is that we do. And a lot of times what I find is people raise money and they give it to very worthy causes, but for a child, they don't understand. They don't know what it goes to. And the brigade was something tangible. And I wasn't the originator of it, by the way, but I appreciate it. But one of my friends out in Michigan, he was doing something similar. And I just looked at it and I said, what a wonderful idea to be able to create an opportunity for children to be a part of it, from raising the money through packaging the food, through actually delivering the food to, a family in need. And that's, when I looked at it, I said, boy, that's just what a wonderful thing to be able to do. And so that's what started it.
Well, I've been fortunate, and I've helped you out for a year or two. But
a year or two, Jack, I don't remember you not being at the Turkey Brigade.
Well, that's part of us, buddy. That's part of friendship as well. But one of the things that really impressed me is the way you have it set up so the children and the kids see exactly what's happening. So
Yeah.
You started this 28 years ago. We go to the charter school over in Foxborough right now. We used to have it over at St. Mary's. But first, tell us what happens when you walk into the parking lot and you come in the door as somebody who wants to help out.
Yeah. So we're going to start the event kicks off this Saturday at 1:00. And when somebody comes in, we're going to have we have a little opening ceremony, 5 to 10 minutes max. And we have some VIP guests like yourself that will be there to welcome everybody in. And really just the opening ceremonies to me is a reminder to everybody about why they're there. So when they first walk in, they're going to be walking into a gymnasium just filled with people. And then what we do is we organize everybody into two lines, and essentially the lines will form at the entrance to the gymnasium, and then you'll get a bag and you kind of walk through this maze of food, and at each station you're going to be taking potatoes or carrots or corn, a can of corn, and you're going to be putting it into your into the bag, and then you just kind of circle around. And this year we're going to be creating over 2,000 of those you know um, dinners for family, so it really requires a lot of hands to make it go. And again, what I like about it, and you alluded to it, is it's the we have grandparents there, we have children there, babies, like everybody. It's just a super family friendly event, and a lot of people use this. They've been coming year after year, and they kind of use this to kick off their the holiday celebration, if you will. It's kind of become a part of the tradition of their family. Yeah.
And you walk around, you fill the bag, or last year we did it with oven pans,
Yep.
and everything that a family would need for their Thanksgiving meal is
Yep.
given. Then you go to a table, and the rest of the team wraps it up in cellophane,
Hmm.
um, and then they get put on the floor. This year,
Yep.
as you say, it's going to be over 2,000 meals.
Yep.
And then tell everybody what happens on on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Jackie, for the first time in 28 years, we actually won't have the tables to wrap in cellophane.
Oh,
So,
that's the bags. That's right.
yeah, right. So for the first time, we've moved to recyclable bags. So that'll be logistically something different this year, but nonetheless, it'll be still just as wonderful. So that event on Saturday takes about 2 hours, and then on Sunday. Well, actually, before I get to Sunday, if it's okay, you know, because you did ask what somebody can expect, for about 2 hours, or, people can come for 30 minutes or stay the whole time. We have holiday music playing, and this year we have the New England Patriot cheerleaders and junior cheerleaders that are going to be there. And we have Pat Patriot that's going to be there. So we're going to do everything we can to keep it kind of fun and festive, and everybody participates in creating this magical result. So at the end of it, you're going to see over 2,000 bags of food ready for delivery, and the delivery starts the next day at 10:30 in the morning on Sunday. And people come, and the tables and the gymnasium is reconfigured. And when people walk into the gymnasium, then they're going to see tables set up with the names of the towns that we serve. And the only thing that we ask is people don't deliver to the own town that they live in, but let's say they're going to go to Taunton or Foxborough or Mansfield or wherever, and they get in that line, and you walk up, and you let them know exactly how many deliveries that you'd like to do. You can do one delivery, you can do 10 deliveries. And the way that we have everything coordinated, it's all done by precinct and street, and so it's very organized. So if you're doing a delivery, chances are, or two or three deliveries, they're all right within the same street. To make it very efficient, we have people that will be there to be able to help carry the bags right out into your car for you. And then based on the deliveries, you'll have the addresses, and off you go to make those deliveries. And all of the recipients know that it's going to be coming sometime between, let's say, 10 and 1 o'clock, and so they're ready for it. And some of them are out working, so the instruction is just to leave it on the doorstep. But there's a lot of nice interactions that happen. 95% of the people that we've had reported back to us, in my own personal experiences, they're just so grateful.
Absolutely.
It's we live in a beautiful country, but sometimes we forget that, there are neighbors that are, who's above falling on some hard times and needing some uh, assistance. And it's such a beautiful act of pure love, because you're expecting nothing in return, and you're just saying, hey, somebody here cares about you, and here's one less thing for you to worry about, and happy Thanksgiving. And what a beautiful act of kindness, and what a beautiful thing to share with your share with your children, if you're bringing your child along.
And you didn't mention the turkeys.
Oh, well, I got to tell you something. You know, for 26 years, we've called it the Turkey Brigade, and now we're actually calling it the uh, Personal Best Charity Brigade. And the reason is because um, we've moved away from giving the frozen turkeys. That's not something that we do anymore. So taped to the bottom of every bag is a $12 gift certificate to Shaw's Supermarket. So somebody can go and they get to choose their protein source. So if they want, they can get fish, or they can get chicken, or they can, there's some vegetarians, they can get, some kind of tofu or something like that, like a tofu. But um, so really, it's the opportunity for somebody to really pick out whatever it is that they enjoy, and by doing that, that eliminated the need for that cooking tin. And then we were fortunate enough to have Shaw's Supermarket, who's been a partner with us for I'd have to say 18 years probably. And then the Produce Barn in Norton has partnered with us, I think, the whole 28 years. But Shaw's Supermarket, getting back to that, they donate all of the recyclable bags this year. So not only were we able to save on the tins and the wrapping paper, but then to have the bags donated was, that's, if you imagine $1 a bag, I mean, that's a $2,000 savings right there.
Sure. Well, one of the reasons
Yeah.
I brought up the turkeys is because one year you conned me or asked me to unload that tractor trailer load of turkeys, and I
It
couldn't
was
walk
brutal.
for days afterwards.
Well, we survey and we try to see who is the strongest, most fit person we can find. And Jack, that year you were just looking buff. But
Wow,
yeah,
yeah. If that was all that you had to choose from, you had some slim pickings, buddy. Slim pickings.
no, but that was a level of complexity for sure, because if you're doing 10 deliveries, now you're talking about 10 solid frozen turkeys you have to lift into your car, and it makes what you're carrying up to the door that much more voluminous. So there's another advantage of moving away from the turkeys, is just to be able to do that. And to be honest with you, there was a couple of things. One, we actually had a few people um, that passed on donating to us because they were vegetarians.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and uh, uh, and that was kind of interesting, and we had never thought about that. But COVID
Yes.
really changed the dynamic of, the food distribution. And coming out of COVID, as you can imagine, the prices had, just because of supply issues, had really just gone haywire, and all of the metrics that we use to feed families were just way out of whack. So we were looking for some creative ways, and that's when we had a kind of a crisis come up, and I think we were able to find a better solution, and we've been doing that now for a couple of years, and the families that are receiving it seem to like and enjoy it, and the families that are delivering to the homes, it makes an easier carry.
Well, it has absolutely been a godsend to an awful lot of families. I know there was one year that we had 3,200 uh,
Yep,
meals going out the door.
yep,
So we can't even tell you the number of thousands of people and families that the Turkey Brigade has fed over the years.
yeah.
Chris, before we wrap up, give us a quick timeline again of activities starting with Saturday and moving into Sunday.
Yeah, so The brigade kicks off on Saturday at the Foxborough Regional Charter School, and it kicks off at 1 o'clock. Now, there are a lot of people that do come to it, so getting there 15, 20 minutes early, especially the fact that there's music playing and the cheerleaders are going to be there and you can take pictures with Pat Patriot. The time really does fly, but I'd recommend getting there 15, 20 minutes early. We kick it off promptly at 1 o'clock. And like I said, 5, 7 minutes of, just some, explanation. A few of our guests say a few words, get everybody kind of into the holiday spirit. We form the lines and people can go through the line and just continue to do that as many times as they'll like. So that, you can do it one time or you can be there usually to do the whole thing. It's about 2 hours. Then on Sunday, we do the delivery kicks off at 10:30 in the morning, and that goes, generally that goes very quick. It starts at 10:30. Usually by 11:30, we pretty much have the last bag, God willing, out the door. The other piece to it that I'm not talking about is the brigade actually starts at 8 o'clock that morning, but we service this effort services 28 nonprofit agencies, from all of the surrounding towns. So some of the agencies come and they pick up bulk orders to be able to deliver to their group of people. One that comes to mind, just to give you an example, the Joanne Druzzi Foundation, we're providing 60, baskets to. So they'll come and they'll pick up all 60 of the bags and they'll be off. We do that generally in the morning between 8 and 10. But for the public section of it, it's 10:30 is the start time.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, Chris, thank you once again for coming on the show. I can't thank you enough for all the times that you have fed these people over the last 28 years. There's a lot of grateful families out there towards you and Personal Best. So, folks, if you'd like to give a hand on Saturday morning, come on over to the Foxborough Charter School. We'll see you there. And once again, Mr. Chris Rappold from Personal Best Karate, thank you very much for being my guest today.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate all of your help and support over all of these many years. We've really enjoyed the friendship, of course, and your partnership and support. So thank you very much.
Great. Folks, thank you. We'll see you again next week. Please stay safe.